from the Lakeside Newsroom of the Henrico Citizen, your hometown news source since 2001. This is the Henrico News Minute with publisher Tom Lapis.
Some closure in the Lucia Bremer murder case, and a Virginia Senate subcommittee weighs in on several abortion bills. We'll tell you about it in today's Henrico News Minute. It's Tuesday, January 24th, 2023. It's brought to you today by the law firm of Barnes & Deal.
And now for the news.
Some closure in a murder case that stunned Henrico County and the nation almost 2 years ago. Yesterday, the 16-year-old boy who shot and killed 13-year-old Quioccasin Middle School student Lucia Bremer on March 26, 2021, entered guilty pleas in Henrico Circuit Court. Dylan A. Williams admitted to firing the 9 shots that killed Bremer in the Gayton Forest West neighborhood that day. In addition to that first-degree murder charge, Williams also entered a guilty plea in the attempted murder of Bremer's friend who was walking with her at the time of the shooting. Williams was 14 at the time. He'll be sentenced by the court on April 14th. As a result of his guilty pleas, the Commonwealth's Attorney's Office intends to withdraw 3 other lesser charges against him, though he could still spend a maximum of 60 years in prison. In court yesterday, Henrico Deputy Commonwealth's Attorney Tony Randall introduced a litany of evidence in the case, including a statement from Bremer's friend who was walking with her that day. She recounted how the 2 girls were followed from Godwin High School back to the friend's house, at which point Williams presented a gun. The friend was able to make it in the house, but Bremer was not and was shot in the garage. In a statement yesterday, Bremer's parents, Jonathan and Meredith Bremer, said, quote, "We want our community to know that today's plea deal has our full endorsement. While this process has been arduous, taking twists and turns with delays that likely could have been avoided, it is the outcome that matters. We had the satisfaction of watching Lucia's murderer admit his guilt, and that is not something we were ever assured of before today," end quote. Well, some backers have characterized Republican Governor Glenn Youngkin's proposal to largely ban abortions after 15 weeks in Virginia as a consensus position, but on Friday a Senate panel rejected it, with Republican Senator Siobhan Donovan of Henrico joining unanimous Democratic opposition. Donovan said she wished that she could vote for the bill. Instead, she proposed an amendment that would have allowed exceptions up to 24 weeks for fetuses with severe abnormalities. Donovan is a practicing OBGYN. Her proposal failed by a 5-4 vote. 2 other bills from Republican senators also failed by votes of 6-3. All 3 were heard by the Democrat-dominated Senate Health Professions Subcommittee. You can read more about this topic right now at henricocitizen.com from our friends at Virginia Mercury. Republican delegates last week killed a bill that would have prohibited the act of declawing cats in Virginia. It was a 6-4 vote in a House subcommittee meeting January 18th. The bill had been proposed by a delegate from Clark County, Wendy Goditis. She proposed it to prevent the medically unnecessary mutilation of cats, according to that bill. It would have fined anyone who performed the procedure between $500 and $2,500, depending upon the level of violation. That money would have been used to fund local animal control facilities. You can read more about the issue right now at henricocitizen.com. And you can catch up on the latest in high school basketball, wrestling, and track and field in our latest edition of Gametime Henrico. Every Monday we bring you a roundup from all of the county's public high schools. Be sure to check that out on henricocitizen.com right now. And right now on henricocitizen.com, the latest edition of Savvy Senior. It's a weekly column specifically for senior citizens and their caregivers. This week's column includes some recommendations about good reacher grabber tools for seniors who have back or hip problems. And on a personal note, today is a milestone birthday for my dad, the best role model a son could have. I've been fortunate to have your support and guidance all these years, and today it's my turn to give you some advice. Eat as much cake as you can. Love you, Dad. Happy birthday. Today's Henrico News Minute has been brought to you by Barnes & Deal. Barnes & Deal has emerged as a highly respected family law firm over the past 3 decades with the resources, skills, and experience necessary to handle high-asset divorces and other complex family law matters across Virginia. To learn more, visit barnesfamilylaw.com, that's BARNES, or call 796-1000.